Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. What a great, did we offer free lunch or anything? Or? No? So, well, welcome to the June 17th, 2024 regular city council meeting. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Dennehy?
Here.
Councilmember Maloney?
Here.
Councilmember Schmischer?
Here.
Councilmember Stein? Absent. Councilmember Tracy?
Here.
Councilmember Worthington?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hamrick?
Here.
Mayor Troutman?
Here. Is Jeff McElhatton here? Okay, if not, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And we have Martin Welch to come speak to us. Anybody else would? Well, you're the only one that put it. Apparently, they don't want to talk to us, Martin.
Well, good evening, Mayor and esteemed council. My name is Martin Welch. I'm a citizen of Canyon City. I'm here tonight as a board member of Royal Gorge River Initiative Organization, or RG Rio. We had our board meeting a short time ago, and just wanted to update you guys on who we are, what we're doing. For those of you that don't know, we are the 501c3 nonprofit formed in 2019 to promote river conservation, education, and recreation, including improvements to the Canyon City Whitewater Park. Some of our recent events was our river cleanup, another great successful event. We've taken thousands of pounds of trash out of the river, so that was a great event in April. We have submitted plans to the Canyon City Public Art Committee for a dynamic new surfboard-inspired sculpture and hope to hear regarding this project's approval soon. That's proposed to be installed down at the Whitewater Park as kind of a symbol of Canyon City's future as the surf capital of Southern California. Almost say California, Colorado. And that's a title that we hope to kind of steal from Salida and some of these other areas, even Pueblo. June 6th, we had our annual Guide Rendezvous. That's an informational, educational program that we put on for the new raft guides in the area to teach them about the Royal Gorge region so they can become ambassadors of the community to the tourists that they have in their boat, maybe get them into the restaurants and lodging around here. And it's something that's been real successful, real great event that we partner with FAR on that as well. Our new website is up and running, royalgorgerio.org. Another great resource if you guys want to check that out. We're real proud of it. It's a real slick new website we're happy with. Our old one was old. Real quick, so the last thing I want to talk about, I'm wearing my shirt. I had the privilege as one of the members of Team USA for the RAF Masters Division, went to Bosnia to represent Canyon City and our nation in that event. That was for the International Rafting Championships. It was a great time, and just it was a reminder, the region that it's in Bosnia is kind of a rural community. They have this beautiful river called the Verbas River, and it just reminded me a little bit of Canyon City. Kind of a agricultural history there, but really embracing the river and seeing the success that they've had there. They have, again, hosted the International Rafting Championships. We ourselves hosted the National Rafting Championships here in Canyon City last year, and because of that, we've been approached to again host those in 2025, the Pan American Championships in 2026, and possibly the World Championships here in 2027. That's only going to happen with the city's approval and support, as well as that of Fremont County. So thanks for your time.
Thank you, Martin. Very informative. Thank you.
Any questions?
Oh, Amy. Sorry. Oh, Amy, yes.
No worries. I have just a couple of things. One, thanks so much to RG Rio and everything that you guys bring to our community. It's really, really fantastic. Secondly, I think we had 2 city employees on your
Absolutely.
Masters Men's division that went with you, Jesse Young and Sam Crawford, which is pretty fantastic.
Amazing guys. Really got to know both of them a lot better, and yeah, I know Jesse from some other areas as a friend and as an employee of the Parks Department. He does a fantastic job, and he was a great teammate. It was great to be with him. So.
We're so lucky
And
to
Sam
have
as
them.
well, obviously.
Of course. And then I just had two quick things. One, I wanted to let you know that the next Public Art Committee meeting is June 25th at 6 p.m. And I do think that that RG Rios, as well as a couple of other community requests for art, will be on the agenda for a discussion. So
Terrific.
greatly encourage RG Rio to come out for that meeting if a representative is available.
Terrific.
And then the last thing I wanted to flag, just since you are a 501c3 community member, acting administrator Nordyke, is the community agency funding still open, or has that closed?
That was to have closed on Friday,
Never mind then.
but we will be opening the 2025 request for funding here shortly, so.
Okay. So the
Terrific.
city does give out about $50,000 a year to local nonprofits who
Terrific.
make a difference in our community, typically in education, youth, and other important initiatives. So I was hoping that the spring round was still open, but I guess it closed last Friday. But thank you so much for everything that
Thank you,
RG
Amy.
Rio
Thank you,
does.
Council.
Emily? Emily?
Got one. Oh,
Yeah, what, one more.
Oh, I
Mike-
just
Martin?
wanted to thank you and your organization for the work that you do. It's really great to see the changes and just to hear about the events that are coming and potentially coming.
And you know what's coming up soon is Whitewater Festival, right?
Yes, yeah,
Everybody's
we
gonna
should
be there,
mention
right?
that. What, 26, 27 or so of
Yes,
July?
ma'am. That's right.
Got it.
Thank you
I
very
have a
much.
quick one.
Thank you, Martin.
Hey, Martin, I got one
keep
quick
trying to
question for you.
You're out of order, Tim. No, go ahead.
Gosh, now you got me reaching. Hey, I was wondering if, as you're looking at these dates and as these rafting things ahead, and I know that we did it last year with conjunction with Whitewater, the festival, would that be the same, or would we try to do it a little earlier as the river, we know there's going to be a little more water in the river?
For the competitive events, like the International Rafting Champ, we want a lot of water. So they would be most likely before the date that we've set for the Whitewater Festival. One of the reasons the Whitewater Festival is set back a little bit is so the water does come down so that we can encourage amateur events that we want as high a safety as we can get. So we don't want to discourage people, and there's been times we've had it earlier and the water's too high and it's a dangerous situation then, so.
No, I got you. No, I hope you get it, and it'll be fantastic to watch.
Thank you, Tim.
You
Okay,
bet.
now I think we've exhausted our questions. Thank you, Martin. Okay, any council members have announcements? Emily?
Yes, thanks. I'll mention, on the subject of water, I'll mention that, and Travis Payne was part of this, Water Education Colorado does a bus tour every year down a different river, I guess, or different drainage. And they came through Canyon City this year, and Travis was on that, so he might have things he wants to tell us about too. But Chris Moffett with Royal Gorge Rio and Andy Ninus with Echo Canyon and myself got to address the group, the 50-some people on the bus who got off at that wonderful location there at Centennial Park. And it was really well received. There's legislators and there's policymakers and water people and so forth that go on that tour. So we made a good connection with Colorado Water Conservation Board person who's based in Salida, who came up to me to tell me about some money that might work for the city on some of our projects. So that was a good connection to make. I'll just briefly say a couple other things about some meetings coming up unrelated to that. The Cotter Mill Community Advisory Group has its regular monthly meeting tomorrow afternoon at 3, both by Zoom and in a classroom at PCC Fremont campus. And we're really moving along more readily with the federal EPA process than we have been in recent years. So it's an important meeting. Anyone can attend. Of course, those are public meetings. I wanted to mention, too, another thing happening on June 25th, besides the Art Committee meeting, if I heard correctly. The Pool Feasibility Committee, the study, and the consultants doing the study are having another public meeting on June 25th at 5:30 p.m. at Canyon City High School. And it's going to be really important to have a large turnout for that meeting, and they have gathered a lot of information through survey work. They'll have several options they're going to present to the public of possible replacements for the Ickabone pool. So really encourage people to go out to that if you can.
Thank you, Emily. Any other comments? Really?
I made my announcement about the Public Art Committee already.
Well, you did. You just jumped ahead there. So, okay, well, thank you so much. All right, let's do the enjoyable part of oftentimes our meeting is employee recognition and proclamation. We have our HR director step forward, please.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and other members of the dais. I know the council does a lot of important work at your meetings every month, but personally, as the HR director, I think the second meeting of the month is the most important one because that's when you have an opportunity to recognize our employees who are experiencing employment milestones with the city. This month, we are recognizing 3 employees. We have 2 that will be getting their 5-year pins and 1 employee who will be receiving their 20-year pin. I'd like to start out with Cassie Rockmore, sorry. Cassie, and the chief's going to come up with her. Cassie was hired by the Canyon City Police Department on June 6th of 2019 as a cadet, a police recruit. On June 15th of 2020, Cadet Rockmore was advanced to Police Officer 1, and then on August 8th of 2022, she was selected as a general crimes detective with the police department, a position she currently holds, and I know she's expanded her responsibilities to include some technology surveillance and stuff like that. I have no idea what it involves, but I know she's good at it, so, Chief?
Thank you, Butch. Mr. Mayor, members of council. With regards to Ms. Rockmore, she is a rock star. She's absolutely an exceptional police detective, dedicated to her community. Cassie is also a vital team member serving in a variety of capacities, as Butch indicated, general assignment detective, as well as a digital forensics detective, as well as our peer support and Project Lifesaver coordinators. She wears a lot of hats. Cassie spares no energy in her pursuit to deliver service excellence to her community and her peers. Cassie is also an exceptional community member who routinely gives of her free time to serve in charitable and compassionate offerings. I'd be remiss if I did not point out that she's also a remarkable mother and wife, and I'm certainly proud to have her on our team and be her chief. Cassie, here's your 5-year badge.
Thank you, Cassie. And we are expecting a 10-minute speech from you. No? You're a person of few words. But thank you so much. Thank you for taking care of our town so well. We would like to take pictures then.
And then next up,
But you don't take the pictures all together?
Yeah, we'll
let's
take
do
them
that. Go ahead.
next up, we have Ryan Chan. On June 3rd of 2019, Ryan was hired as a police officer 1 by the Canyon City Police Department. On December 31st of 2020, Officer Chan was selected and transferred to the School Resource Officer Program, a position he currently holds.
Thank you again, Butch. Officer Chan, again, much like Cassie, is an exceptional police officer dedicated to his community. As a vital team member serving as our school resource officer, again, Ryan spares no energy in his pursuit to deliver service excellence to his students, staff, and parents. And I say this often, having had an opportunity to walk in those shoes as a school resource officer many, many moons ago. It's absolutely crucial for us in terms of building those relationships with young people, and Ryan and his team member, our partner Jordan, do a wonderful job. He's also recently certified as a motor officer riding our agency police motorcycle out there to enforce traffic. And he was doing that today, very warmly. So we're real proud of that. He's also an exceptional community member who routinely gives of his free time to serve in charitable and compassionate offerings. And additionally, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out he's also a remarkable father and husband. So I'm certainly proud to have him on our team and be his chief as well. Ryan?
Thank you.
All right, and next, we have Susan Sakamoto. On June 1st of 2004, Susan was selected for the position of Library Assistant 1, Public Services with the Canyon City Library. On July 11th of 2009, Susan was selected for promotion to Assistant Librarian, a position she currently holds. Susan? Unfortunately, Suzanne Lasha couldn't be here tonight, but she did tell me that Susan is kind of the organizer and enforcer at the library. She does a great job of developing checkoff lists for the team to use, which I'm a big proponent of processes because, you know, it allows you less opportunities to make mistakes. But I guess she really holds her peers accountable to utilize those tools. So.
Thank you.
Now, if we could get the council down front, we'll get our.
Yes, let's
award-
do that.
Our recognees up here. All right, now we're going to get you guys up front here with council, please. Come on in, you guys get up here in front. Thank you, and congratulations to our employees.
Do you guys mind if we do one more with families, if you guys have them? Or if you have them here. Of course.
Yeah, sorry, can't get out. Nice try, though. Okay. Everybody ready? Perfect. Nice try, though.
Okay, well, thank you all. I note that when I go to high school events, we have an officer owner there, and I'm thrilled at how well they're accepted, and having fun with them and seeing an officer, and it's a thrill to see that from our young kids, and they enjoy that, and we appreciate that. So, okay, Tammy, would you review the consent agenda, please?
Okay, item 8A is to approve the minutes for the regular city council meeting for June 3rd, the general government meeting for June 5th, and the special meeting June 23rd, 2024, which is for the CML District Conference, and then June 28th, 2024 for the Public Arts Committee. 8B is accept the resignation for library/museum board. 8C, authorize the mayor to reappoint Kirk Souther and Dee Dee Clement to the Planning Commission for another 3-year term. 8D, award bid 13-24 for chlorine scrubber servicing to Integrity Municipal Systems in amount not to exceed $70,000. 8E, award 3524 to Axon Fleet, for Axon Fleet to Axon Enterprises, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $116,887.04. 8F, award bid 4924, Building Energy Management and Control System to Johnson Controls, Inc. in amount not to exceed $174,211. 8G, award bid 5224 for Axon Core to Axon Enterprise, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $27,313.07. 8H, authorize vehicle to be declared surplus and disposed of according to city policy. 8I is to receive and file the monthly budget summary for April 2024. 8J, you did receive a change to that, and that has been presented. You should have received a copy. The disbursements have decreased, so when you make the motion for the consent agenda, please include that in there. We are accepting a credit from Axon on an invoice, so we wanted to make sure to get that applied, and that check is being rewritten for a lesser amount. So we just wanted to make sure to have that. And that is the end of the consent agenda.
Okay, anyone have any questions on that? Emily?
Thanks. I just noticed, I didn't notice it earlier, that on item 8A, I think actually, where it says special June 23rd meeting, I think that was May, and that was our CML district meeting in Florence. And then that last one should also say May instead of June for the minutes of the May Art Committee meeting. And then I just wanted to, I do have a question in regard to 8F, but I'll hold off on that if there are other comments.
John?
Thank you. That may be where my questions are also, so I'll get us started because I've got several of them. But as I understand, so this is an agreement with Johnson Controls to upgrade our system, our software control system for air conditioning and heating, as I understand it. But one of my questions is, Johnson Controls offers several levels of service, and I just wanted to make sure, but this is, we're not requesting them to do remote monitoring of our site, is that correct?
I will ask Jim Johnson and Elijah Owens to come up to address those questions.
Thank you.
It does give them the, if we request, they can remote in if we have problems, and that's part of the maintenance contract. They don't actually come down and maintenance regularly our system. We took the bottom level one where they come down once a year. They'll come more if we request it, but it's not something where they're gonna come down and maintain the system.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. The and I'm looking at attachment B, where this is essentially what Johnston Controls is saying the benefits of utilizing their system is, and it's not really included as part of the contract. But one of the things that they say is the benefits of using them and having planned services that that routine maintenance may maximize the life of your equipment, and through proactive factory recommended maintenance, you can extend the life. And so we have an existing system. Is that being done now, and who's
It is,
being done by?
And that's one of the reasons I wanted to go with Johnson Controls. They are a Sourcewell contractor, but we did put it out to bid when we went for the police department. They were the low bid then, and the Metasys system that they put in has been pretty bulletproof. If we have had any issues, they've been able to correct them, really quick. We haven't had any downtime, and so their service is really pretty spectacular. But also, they manufacture all of the equipment, so we don't have the problems with when something goes down that it takes us 2 or 3 weeks to get a control board or something like that. Johnson Control is the manufacturer. They have readily good access to all the parts and stuff that we might need. And it also helps us, it's pretty much required where we have to have updates, because anything electronics always got to have updates, and it's going to be on the server. So that takes care of the security updates as well to protect our server.
And who's doing the routine maintenance now for City Hall?
Well, right now, the reason we're doing this is because Automated Controls, the system they put in 2004, Automated Logic, excuse me, with the system they put in 2004, it's obsolete, and we can't get any new control boards. We can't update the system. And they actually bid on the police department when we did that one, and it was all their equipment in there, and they were still $20,000 higher than Johnson Controls. And so, their upgrades were more expensive than Johnson Controls were, and we just felt like Johnson Controls had a lot better system.
So my question is really about routine and preventative maintenance as opposed to troubleshooting. And my question is, who is doing that for City Hall right now?
We do it in-house. That's Dave Rodenbeck and Randy Allen.
I see, okay. Thank you.
Amy?
Mine are actually on different agenda items, so I would defer to Councilwoman Tracy if we'd like to stay on the same.
Emily, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, my question's really more general about this item. Do you expect any difference in system performance with this change and with this upgrade? For example, will there be reduced energy use, or do we know if there will be any benefits along those lines?
It will help some. I mean, our automated system now, we get pretty good energy savings. This one will be more efficient, probably less downtime with it. We've got a few more pieces of equipment that'll be on this that's not currently on the automated logic. So yeah, we will get energy savings off of it.
That we can look forward then maybe to hearing more about that later as that system goes into effect. I know that for some of us, it sometimes feels a little cold in here, so I didn't know if that would be, if you'd be looking at kind of zones like that and seeing if they're performing the way they should be.
Yes, and we do that on a routine basis, but a lot of places, well, like this, we don't know what the crowd's going to be in here.
Right.
So we kind of set it a little bit lower so people aren't hot in here. But we are able to control when that comes on, when it goes off. Normally the system goes down at 6 o'clock. It'll shut everything down. Comes on at 6 o'clock in the morning, so it's not running all night long. Right. However, if somebody, the mayor, if he felt like coming in and burn a little midnight oil, anywhere where there's a control thermostat, you can come in. They have a push button where you can reset it for 2-hour increments, and it'll kick the system on. But otherwise, the system is dormant and not running, overnight or on the weekends.
Got it. Thanks.
And I do have another
Sure.
question on that, if that's all right with Councilmember Schmisher. But as part of the contract, that is actually part of the contract, the attachment B, they request that we provide them our information on the equipment that they're going to be contractually bound to maintain. And that page is essentially blank. We don't have any equipment listed there. And so to me, that's a vital part of the contract, to agree exactly what equipment we're going to be, that we expect them to maintain. And so how are we going to cure that?
So the attachment B that is on that bid, in particular, what they are in charge of maintaining is the installation of the control system. So when we install that software system onto our virtual server environment, the preventative maintenance item that you see on attachment B is for them to get in contact with us and make sure that any preventative maintenance for the controls is done. It's not that they're maintaining the actual hardware or the controller boards themselves and those particular hardware items. So there's really not any manufacturer serial numbers or models or anything to put on that specific attachment, since it's related particularly to the software.
Correct. If I understand, let me restate that because I think I understood that. But essentially, the first attachment lists the controls they're going to install, and the second attachment is intended for them to maintain those controls, equipment, and software for us. And we're not expecting them to maintain the AC unit or something like that.
Correct.
Thank you.
Amy?
Thanks. I don't have any questions for you, Jim. My questions are actually on 8E and
Thank you, guys.
G. Thank you.
Thank you,
very
guys.
much. I guess one quick question maybe for you, Director Nordyke, and then maybe one for you, Director Owens, but I'm obviously defer to you guys. I was a little bit surprised to see kind of the lines of the terms not aligning with the amounts quite exactly. So we have like a term of 30 months, and then we have 2 annual payments that are both equal. And it doesn't appear that anywhere it's specified what we're actually getting for what we're paying for this year. So I'm wondering what the period of performance or what the term is for what amount of money we're giving them for the first year.
Do you want to address that?
Yep, so the contracts for both of them, as you stated, they're both a little bit different. The way Axon Billing handles it is they wrap the term in for the entirety of the contract. So because one of them is a 30-month period and the other one is a 46-month period, accounts receivable at Axon accepts annual payments. That's the way they like to do their billing. So they split that total term cost of the 30 months and the 46 months into neat annual payments. And as you said, that doesn't really give clear lines as to what that annual payment is covering out. One thing that I reviewed today after you had asked that question, I know we had a chance to look at it, our term on the contracts, whenever we decide to terminate for non-appropriations, because that is built into all the contracts, we will be credited or not owe additional funding for any term that wasn't paid or that we're terminating for non-appropriations. So to say that a little bit clearer, if we pay the first payment, you can either look at it as cleanly dividing it up into 15 months for the 31 and the second one is another 15 month, but because both of the payments are due in August, that doesn't really match up. If we were to terminate for non-appropriations before the renewal, they would credit the account for whatever monthly dues weren't paid out of that first term.
Okay.
And from an
Go ahead.
accounting standpoint, we will book the expense to the appropriate year. So even though we are paying the annual payment, it will only show in the financials, it will only show like the 5 or 6 months that are owed for that year. The rest will go to a prepay, and then the next year we will expense it out. So it will hit the correct fiscal years, even though, and it will show, like I said, on as a prepay, as the
Okay.
accounting side,
Okay.
and that applies to both of the agreements.
Okay, thank you for that. I really appreciate that you've kind of figured that out on the back end.
Thank you, Amy. John?
Thank you. Another financial question for our acting administrator and financial director. So we have the graphs that you have made up for us, and thank you for that. They really do help. But it shows sales tax collection for the general fund, sales tax collection for 2A, and water operating revenues. I'm not sure this comment or request really applies to the water operating revenues because that's a little bit a different animal, I think. But would it be possible, perhaps when we have the new software up and running, I know that these graphs are kind of having to be done by hand, but can you produce two versions of the sales tax collections general fund, one showing the dollars that we're receiving, and the other one adjusting those dollars for inflation, please?
I'll see what we can do. So let's say if we're showing our 2020 numbers, you want those 2020 numbers converted to what that dollars are as of,
Adjusted for CPI,
okay.
Consumer
Yep.
Price Index. There's different versions of it. I'll leave it to you to look and see what you think is most appropriate. But it would be, I think it would be informative for us to see whether, in a real sense, whether our tax revenues are rising or falling.
No problem, we will look into that.
Thank you, John. Emily?
I guess, I just wanted to ask for clarification on that request. Would it be like an annual, like for the whole year of 2020, for example? We would get that adjusted or on a monthly basis?
I think they publish monthly. They publish monthly. CPI publishes a number monthly.
Sounds like a lot of number crunching, but okay.
Anyone else? Any?
May I make a motion?
I was going to discuss this with Tammy, because every time I go down to her office, I say, Tammy, do we have money? And she says, yes. I turn around, I'm done. So, Kira, would you please make a motion?
You forgot the caveat on that.
Huh?
You forgot the caveat on that. Not when the PD's around.
Okay, she says occasionally she has money. You have it. Now that I put my foot firmly in my mouth, would you make a motion?
I would like to move to approve the consent agenda with the modification of the revised cash disbursements, item 8J, and the agenda as written.
Here a second?
And the dates.
Oh, apologies. And the following revisions to 8A, changing the special meeting from June 23rd to May 23rd, the CML district, and the art meeting from June 28th to May 28th.
Second.
Second by John. Any discussion on that motion? Would you please call a roll?
Councilmember Dennehy?
Aye.
Maloney?
Aye.
Schmisher?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
Worthington?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hamrick?
Aye.
Thank you all. And could we have an administrator's report from Tammy?
So you have received a copy of the administrator's report in your packet. One thing that I would like to bring up that has come up that since that was submitted was that we are in the process of issuing $9,940 in credits to water for the responses to the survey that 120 Water completed. There were 4,560 surveys sent out. We received 497 back, which was a 10.9% response rate. We were hoping to get a 5% response rate, so we're pretty happy with that, and those credits are going out on their water bill. So just wanted to make sure that council was aware of that. And
Is it a lump sum credit? Or
yes,
is it-
they're receiving, each of the accounts are receiving a $20 credit.
Okay, great.
So, yes.
Amy?
Thank you. If I'm recalling correctly, folks had an opportunity to respond both when they got the letter or the postcard in the mail, and then there was also a general mailbox that folks could respond to after that time period closed. Has the time period for the general mailbox closed as well, to where like we are officially done with this particular program, given that folks had both the individual opportunity as well as that second round?
Yes, I see Travis shaking his head, yes.
Awesome. Thank you. And thanks as well for kind of both doing the publicity around the individual responses and then working with the consulting company to come up with a way for folks who just pitched them to still be able to get that credit. So 10% response rate is really fantastic.
Thank you. Any other comments from council? Are you wrapping it up, Tammy, or? Yeah,
That concludes the administrator.
really? Well, thank you. Okay. Going to open a public hearing. Today, we're going to have a public hearing for a liquor license. And the liquor license is for a hotel and restaurant, city, of course, for No Ka'oi Island Bistro, located at 605, did I say it right? Main Street. Was that? Yes, ma'am, that's correct. That's it. Not yet, we're not ready for you yet, but we will. We will be. I'd invite the city clerk to do a report.
Nikoi had everything turned in. We've gotten everything back from the state already, and we are ready to go.
Well, great. Now, could we have the public? You're considered the public?
Nope, he's considering the applicant.
He's the applicant.
You can come on up, Brenda.
Is there anybody in the public who would like to speak on that? See, there are none. So let's have the applicant.
Hello, how's everyone doing today?
Would anybody in council have to ask this young man questions? Emmy, I knew you would.
I just have a couple. Could you say it again to make sure we're all pronouncing it correctly?
It's No Ka'oi.
No Ka'oi.
Yeah.
I was,
Nice job, Mayor Trent.
yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Um, could you-
Thankless job.
Could you just tell us a little bit about your plans? And I saw an outside patio listed on your floor plan, and kind of what you're planning to serve, and kind of what your intentions are.
Absolutely. So right now we're doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner 5 days a week. We plan to kind of supplant everything with that cocktail menu that's coming out. So I have a new cocktail menu coming out with more localized style drinks, things you would find more prevalent in a resort setting in Hawaii. Try to stay true to kind of our name and what we do there. I do plan on doing some pairings for the dinners. I think our regular normal hours, we close at 9 p.m., so nothing later than that at this point in time, or even in the future at this point. But yeah, the patio, yes, we did submit those plans. We would like to be able to offer something. I think it would help bring a little more attention to Main Street and kind of bring more attention to that area that has been missing for some years. So I'm kind of looking forward to helping revitalize that area as well. So.
Thank you. Any other questions of council? Anybody from the public who would like to speak? Will you have poke bowl soon?
Oh, yes, I do.
Good, I just thought I'd throw that in.
And Mayor, I've got 3 different styles for you, so, we'll give you options this time.
All right, thank
And
you.
I would like to say, he was so expecting, he's had a liquor license in Hawaii, which is a totally different experience. They only allow so many. It's very competitive. And so when we were talking about the paperwork, he's like, that's it? It's like, yes. He's like, wow, that's easy. So,
Yep.
Okay. Emily?
Oh, I just want to thank you for being here, and thank you for your application. And sometimes we see applications that have little bits and pieces missing here and there, and this one was easy to read through, and so we appreciate the work you put into it.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Thank you again. Anybody else? Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing at this time. And if I can get my fingers to work here. There you go. I would call for a motion and a second. That's from the council. Yeah, oh yes, John.
Sure, Mayor, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that we approve the new liquor license hotel and restaurant city for No Ka'oi Island Bistro located at 605 Main Street.
Second.
Kathy, I think I heard first.
She's louder.
Like the wheel of fortune. You punched first. Okay, would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Dennehy?
Aye.
Maloney?
Aye.
Schmisher?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
Worthington?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hamrick?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next agenda on the item is a final review of subdivision. I have been involved with the family and the owner, so I will once again recuse myself to the dungeon. Just come and get me. I'll be in the back. No? Yeah.
So, the acting administrator Nordike, do we have an update from staff on this at all?
Our city planner, Patrick Mulready, is on. He can provide an update.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, as you will recall, the public hearing was held on this on June 3rd. It received unanimous approval from council. In the 2 weeks since that public hearing was held, we have not had any contact from any members of the public. No one has called to contact us to express opposition. So we are recommending that council do approve this ordinance at second reading.
Thank you for that. This is for a second reading. Do I have a motion from council? Oh, I don't have the box, so. Councilmember Schmisher.
Thanks. I think I just have a question. I wasn't sure if the owner
Sure.
was in the audience or if it was an interested member of the public. Nope, okay.
No. Thank you. Thank you for that. So I'm looking for a motion. Oh, well, I don't have the box.
I see that now.
Please raise your hand.
I will move that
Thank
we
you.
approve ordinance number 2, series of 2024 on second reading.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Dennehy?
Aye.
Maloney?
Aye.
Schmisher?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
Worthington?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hamrick?
Aye. And with that, we need the hostage rescue team to
Do we
talk
have
to the
an-
mayor.
I was going to say, do we have another one? I think Patrick's upstairs. But I think he just signed off.
I think that's our last agenda item, and all we need is
Preston.
Preston to close our meeting. Mr. Mayor, we're ready for you to reassume the chair, and we did, by the way, vote down that pay raise for you. Sorry about that.
It's on. Okay, I was going to ask Mr. Johnson if he would show good faith and turn the coolness down in our room tonight, and he left. Okay, Emily?
No, that's just leftover.
Was
thanks.
leftover? Amy?
Also leftover.
Well, okay, any other questions or comments? All right, then we're hereby adjourned.